Good morning, this is Jack for Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 20th of June. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some voluntary learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Oh, and this is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. Okay, let's have a look. Now, the head and shoulders that we've been looking at for the last couple of days have broken down and look as though they are rejecting so far. Now, I think the principal hazard at the moment is the possibility that the US joins the war being waged by Israel on Iran. But at the moment, as of last night, I think Trump was saying that he needs 2 weeks to think about it, and generally speaking, tends to mean it's not going to happen. So my feeling is that is receding as a risk. So we've broken down here. We've got a target down in the 58.1250 area, which is where they've got this possible larger head and shoulder neckline or larger double top support. But at the moment, it's rejecting. It's not going to fully, the head and shoulders isn't going to fail unless we get over the right shoulder high, which I've got at 61.09. But I think there's a pretty good chance that this is rejecting back up into the high. We shall see. We've got the same thing happening on NQ, and again, a while further before it fails, but I think this may well reject back to the high too. We don't have an obvious topping pattern here on RTY and on YM. I'm watching this declining resistance trend line here, which is being tested at the moment. If that breaks up, I'm thinking that may well be a bull flag, breaking up with a target obviously at the high. DAX and ESTX went lower. Do we have a possible double bottom? Maybe on ESTX or part formed IHS, but at the moment this looks like a flag forming from the high, although albeit not a well formed one on ESTX, and it kind of looks like a flag from the high on DAX as well. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Right, on ES, I'm watching the daily middle band as support, and we held that on Friday. And I'm not seeing anything particularly obvious to suggest we aren't going to hold that today. And I still haven't updated hang on 1 second, my chart here, which obviously need to do later. And this is the daily middle band, and it's holding. SPX hasn't seen a full retest, but no break below it as well. This is the main area I'm looking at in terms of short-term support, and we haven't seen a break below it on SPX and Qs. We haven't seen even a test of it quite on either Qs or SPX. On Dia, we've actually seen 2 days trading below it, and this is a potential sign of weakness, but it could easily reject back above. We've got no current divergence here, but I would say, hang on, let's just have a quick look at the IWM chart first, and that, hang on 1 second. Right, looking at IWM, we've tested the daily middle band, I think, twice in the last 4 days, but it hasn't broken below yet, so it is holding its support so far. We've got not a bad looking rising wedge that's broken down. We've got a possible head and shoulders here too. How convincing is this? Not hugely, really. We'd need to see some follow through today. It doesn't look so far as though we're going to see it. And if it isn't going to follow through, then I think this just rejects back up to the high. Now, there is something to mention here. I was saying that I wanted all of these possible wedge support trend lines, they are now reached, and some of them broken, but all of them reached, because if we do see another leg up, then that would give me some support trend lines to build patterns on. We've now done that across the board. So actually, what this consolidation has managed is to get us there. On Dia, obviously we've broken below it, so this would be, we'd draw in wherever this low would come out as, we would draw in the trend line, and another leg higher would give us a decent looking pattern. This is what I wanted to see, and the last one to make that was the Qs, which has now made it. So I've got a possible head and shoulders here too, but really it might break down. We might see a bit more retracement, but I'm not feeling particularly convicted towards it. And if Trump isn't going to enter the war on Israel's side in Iran, then I'm not seeing much reason for this to actually break down. We will see. Obviously, we do have bigger picture stuff which is leaning towards the downside, but I don't think we're really seeing the numbers for everyone to actually forcibly wake up from the "oh, it'll probably be okay" dream. So we will see how it goes. But at the moment, we've reached a level which I've been talking about for weeks, which is all of them reaching that support level where we could build decent trend lines for patterns going forward. So if we are going to see a breakup, this would be very much the time to start seeing that happen. And I think we might be watching that happen. I'm going to do, in case we do go down, I'm going to do a post today and I'm going to be talking about the bear side, but it's not the side I'm favoring here. We'll see. Okay, DX. DX, possible head and shoulders forming here. I am wondering about a retest of this low. On the other ones, we've got a possible bull flag here, not particularly well formed on EURUSD, and I'm thinking this might break up and give us a retest of the high. We've got some patterns which are breaking down but may well be rejecting. We've got an GBP one here with basically targets around the 132.40 area, and that could be rejecting back up into the high here. USD/JPY, we have broken up a bit. Could be an overall triangle forming here, so I'm thinking this might go down. USD CAD, 60-minute sell signal is fixed, but not been doing a great deal to the downside so far, but might deliver some more. This could be an IHS forming. Australian dollar, we've got a double top which is broken down slightly, and it would be breaking down towards target in the 65 to 60 area, and NZ we got a little double top which is broken down too. I am wondering whether both of these are going to reject back to the high. Okay, let's have a look at bonds. ZB, I was saying when we broke up here that we either had a larger bear flag forming here or an ugly IHS had broken up. At the moment, well, the IHS won't fail unless we get below 111.23, but at the moment the new rising support trend line here, which would be the larger flag support, is breaking down slightly, and we're down below the monthly pivot. Convert that to resistance, and I think we'll probably be heading back here to the lows. Looking at ZN, possible double top here, bit oversized, but again, I've not really seen much reason to change my view that this is probably going to end up heading back to the low here in about 109.14 area. All right, looking at CL. CL, I was expecting to see a retest of the high. We've seen it. We've got a possible double top here. At the moment, there's no sign of the Iran-Israel war slowing down, and there is significant risk to the upside. So watching this carefully, I think it's a little soon to see this double top breakdown with a target in the 62 area, but that's something that might happen if we see that that conflict ends soon. HO has gone significantly higher, no current divergence. RBOB went significantly higher, no current divergence. NG has reached the first of the trend lines I drew in. Very, very slight overthrow on it. I don't think. Hang on. Possibly it doesn't look like quite an exact touch, but we've got a 60-minute sell signal. The last 60-minute sell signal failed. We've got another one which has fixed, and I'm thinking we might see a reversal, a full reversal back to this low here, or at least a retracement here. On GC, still consolidating, still expecting to see a retest of the all-time high. SI, we've seen a little double top breakdown here, but I am thinking this might just reject back up to the high. We had a buy signal fix here, wasn't a particularly strong one, and it failed overnight. On palladium, we've got a little double bottom that's broken up here, but at the moment this looks like a bear flag forming. On platinum, seeing a little bit of a retracement here after a very impressive move up. HG is breaking the rising support from the low again slightly, but not following through again. Looking at KC, we made the retest of the low. This doesn't look like a double bottom forming, and I'm wondering about another test of this megaphone support, which would be in the 310 area. Looking at SB, SB hasn't reached this low. I'm wondering about a move down here into the 15.9 area. I am wondering whether this may well be playing out into the head and shoulder target, which would actually be in the 8 to 9 area. That would be an awful lot lower, so I'd be wary about being long. CC, we retested the low as expected, possible double bottom setup, waiting to see if that if it continues down first. CT, I was looking for a full retest of this low. We've seen it. We've got a potential double bottom setup here, no current positive divergence. Looking at lumber, Nice looking rising megaphone, bear flag. Next obvious target would be the bear flag support, currently in about the 589 area. No, sorry, no, 598 area. Okay, looking at ZW, this we had a double top, it broke down, it rejected back up. I am thinking the bigger picture is looking at least modestly bullish. Corn, leaning towards seeing a full retest of this low and setting up a double bottom. This does not look like an IHS. Weak 60-minute buy signal is fixed and hasn't made target yet. On soy, 60-minute sell signal is fixed, hasn't really delivered anything so far. Possible nested double top setup here. Looking at soybean oil, again, nice looking double top, 60-minute sell signal fixed. Live cattle, this looks like a bull flag forming, and lean hogs has broken up slightly over this wedge resistance, and it's a nice wedge resistance, but no real follow through to the downside so far. 60-minute sell signal fixed, hasn't delivered anything so far. All right, let's have a look at questions, of which we've got none. Okay, looking at ES here, we've broken down from the head and shoulder patterns, but I'm not really seeing much reason for a breakdown here, and I'm leaning towards this rejecting back up into the recent highs. So I think this has all just been a bullish consolidation, and we're probably going up afterwards. How fragile is that? Well, I don't think there's any underlying good news, really. The good news for today is that it doesn't look as though Israel, America is going to be joining on the side of Israel on the war with Iran. And I think that's probably enough to get us to retest this high. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. And I will catch you guys again on Monday. Everyone have a great weekend. Take care.